Let me see. Leo Falandri, Alder, Hugo Gol, Captain Blind, José Pereira, Weimeister, Alexi, 2 Martin from the Netherlands, and Echo, and the biggest of all dogs. Four guys to pass, pick them.
So for me, there will not be big surprises. I think that Leo and Josie will pass. That's 100%. Like they could play against each other at some point, but they are not stupid enough to. They are not stupid at all to do something like that in first round. So I think they just worked and qualify. I would say Alder will also qualify, and then the favorite for fourth place, I'd say it's you, but you have to not. I will talk about you in the third person. Big Dog has to not force it. Have to not try to follow something that he can't follow, especially in the second stage. And remember that the fourth place is the one that you need to qualify, or third. So I think Leo and Jose would be first and second, except if Alder pulls uh, a writing strategy and ends up winning the group. So yeah, I would say
So,
the four that move on is Leo, Alder, Big Dog, and Jose.
thank you, Ibra, George, for names as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty much along those lines. Obviously, we have these two stand-up names, Leo Falandri and Jose. But I do believe in Captain Blind's chances. He's quite good in classics. He likes a good sprint. But as Zebra said again, we will have a few wheel suckers in there, like Alder and Blind, who will try and use that to their advantage because due to Leo Falandri and Jose both liking to go on their own adventure, that will be a really good group to follow. So everyone in that group will have to stay alert and pay attention to the moves and try follow the ones that will pay off in the end. But yeah, as far as for names go, I would pick out Leo Falandri, Jose, Captain Blind, and Alder. I'm sorry, Sean.
All right. And
Yeah, so this is not a commentary. This is more of an advice. Don't do too much. That's it. That I would say, just say, don't do too much for other people. That's it.
all right. And with this, I'm going to hand it over to you boys because I will be focusing on my actual game. And I'll talk to you later. Maybe I'll join mid race just to give an update, but I will not be intervening until later on. So, best of luck to you guys. Take it.
Up to
All the
you.
best, Sean.
Right. So, what?
Should we bring Feelings and Chief in here, or are they playing?
Yeah, I hope people join us because I have to go to work. So, we have. Did you guys talk about all the groups? So for Group K, let's do like a fast one, George.
Yes.
In every group, tell me your four favorites, like fast. So Group K for me, it will be Groot, Francesco, Guilherme, and Copy, like the four in front. No, I would say Leonard in front of Copy.
No, I would say those four are the top four as Pothead. I remember Copy from last year. He was surprisingly good in classics.
Yeah,
So
I think it wasn't tour. We had like ITT or
was it?
TTT and
Yeah, it
tour,
was tour. You're right. You're right.
and he like third round or something. So Group G, we have
Jay.
oh, this is quite open, to be honest. Swaxon for sure, I think, and
Mhm.
then I would say it's wide open. Frico is a good player, um, uh, and then the level is close to each other. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I think I believe Kingmaker will make it. He's solid. But yeah, thinking about it, Andrew Stein, Yaya Jasper, and Frico, they all have an equal chance. And with two
yeah,
spots remaining after Swaxon and King, it'll be a great group that one, especially due to his size as well. Big
yeah.
chaos.
So, Group E, this one
I
is yeah, Group I. Yeah, it's French, English. Don't judge me. Group E is actually is also really open, I would say, because there is five for four spots. So And I would say Pierre is clearly, for me, is clearly the favorite of the group. He's a really, really good player, especially for in classics. And I lost to him every. He knows where to be.
Mm.
He knows when
Yeah,
to
I'm not
attack,
sure about Pierre's
and he's always
ability,
hard
not
to beat. Like,
because I don't trust in him, I just don't know it. But I would say Healings is the main man to beat here, and then Finn and Agap should be through.
yeah,
So I would
exactly.
put Pierre as the first one, clearly,
For
according
me,
to
it's
your list.
Pierre. Yeah, it's we will come back to this. Like it's a
Okay.
little bit. I think Pierre is easily gonna qualify, and then I think it's gonna be wide open between the four other. I remember that he like normally Healings would be up there with A gap to fight, but Healings didn't play all year, so that could affect him. He didn't sprint enough. He
Yeah, but
doesn't
neither
know.
has Pierre and half of these players.
Yeah, but Pierre, I just played him in ETA Cup and he was doing great. He just beat me in the classics group. So, yeah, I don't think he will have a problem adjusting in a round one. So, Group H.
Right. Ooh,
So,
we have. Oh,
interesting
it's
group.
the group H or G according to the names. And yeah, I would say this is more open than group I even.
I would say very, very open group. Like, look at the bottom two names. Dogo, we don't
Mhm.
know. Ezing is a very good player. Like,
I would say all of them have almost an equal chance of qualifying.
except who's the sixth player? Is that Jefe? Okay, he's a good also. Yeah.
Hmm.
So and don't underestimate Fonso. Like this guy, I didn't know him, and he came out of nowhere and started playing like Ita Cup and stuff, and he's passing rounds and he's reaching semifinals. So
Hmm.
always there to snatch third place and qualify. So watch out from him. But yeah, I would say Hooli and Hooli and Ghosty have a little edge on
Yeah.
the others, but it's so wide open. Like this one is, yeah, we don't
I
know.
mean,
We would
Simone
see.
will surely go through. He's really strong.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
So
stream.
the last group to.
Okay.
So we have the group of Baso, group Baso Tuanu, and then Baso Tuanu, and then Shift Tisho. I think the four we have the four that will
Yeah.
qualify.
Yeah.
The other four, sorry, but I don't see it happening at all. Like,
The important thing, the interesting part in that group is to see whether Basso can actually not finish first, I would say.
yeah, 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 true, true, true. Especially that that cobble stage is, I like.
Oh,
I played it yesterday. It's so like it's Basso style. So yeah,
yep, it is.
we will see that. So yeah, it's about to begin, I think.
As a reminder to anyone that didn't watch last night, we have three stages today that we'll play. One is uh, a flat one, the other is a mountain, and a hill one. The flat one is Omlut Het Nieuwsblad, with two really, really tough cobble sections at the end that will separate the whole race. And then we have a mountain one with mountains that I don't remember the name of, but is basically purely for the mountain guy at the end with a long mountain finish that gets steeper and steeper at the end, especially the last half kilometer. It's extremely steep. And then we have the President of Halifax stage, the popular one that we use often, a really, really punchy terrain that should be for either the cobble guy or the puncher.
Yeah. I would say the same. Yeah. There is like the first stage there. I think there is a group where a guy won with a sprinter. It was Hush, I think, in his group. He won with the sprinter, and yeah. So
It's a little
we will
because in
see.
that group I would have had my sprinter as well, but in these stages, especially that one, positioning is so important.
Yeah.
So if you don't have good conditioning, your leader is in the mud, as we say.
Yeah. So I would say people that think that their group is easily to pass, like Jose and Leo, I wouldn't be surprised to see a finish with sprinters. So yeah. And like for me, I will be honest. Like sometimes if I'm in a group with people like Leo, Joe, Jose, I don't try to follow. Like I'm decent in road, but sometimes I don't even try to follow their picks because I can't make the sprinters survive like they do. Like it's barely surviving. So sometimes you don't have to follow the best. You have to take, if you can survive with the 77 sprinter and make him sprint at the final, you might even beat the 82 sprinters if they don't have enough wreck. So we will see. It's gonna be interesting to see what they opt for. So yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I mean these players have been around for so long. They have developed every single secret of the game and
Yeah.
can maximize all the tools that it can provide.
It's also interesting to see the level of Jose in this first round. Like Jose is the goat, but it's interesting to see how he feels about the game. Does it match his gameplay, stuff like that? You see, we didn't see him play for so long in solo, so yeah, I think he didn't play last two World Cups. Personally, I didn't see him play. Uh, like this is the first time I see him play ladder solo
Yeah,
in my whole year, like 2 years, first time, first time I see.
I would
So
pretty
yeah.
much agree with you. I mean, he has played in tournaments in previous World Cups that I've played, but I just don't remember him. So I'm
It
really
wasn't
interested to see
ladder.
how he plays.
It was ladder. Yeah, I played again. Yeah, we will see. We will see. He's the most intriguing player that's subscribed. To be honest, like surprised subscribe and a good one. Like we're happy to see him and yeah, it's we couldn't have a better round one than Leo vs Jose. Like you couldn't ask for more. To be honest.
Yeah. All right, some groups have been given the go launch, so we should be underway shortly with the first stage, the flat one.
Yeah, at this stage, I thought it was harder than it is. But yeah, at the end, it was a sprint finish, and people have to be careful. Like the first guy that launches, he's the one who's gonna lose. It looks like easy flat finish, but it's not. It's so long. You feel like you're close to the line, but you're not, and then you launch early, and then you die. So
That's exactly what happened to me last night.
yeah,
Still managed
I
to get
mean,
third from it, but yeah, it was way too early.
yeah, that's exactly. You finished first. Same for me. I launched early, and then I died, and three people passed me at the line. Yeah,
Three people past you?
yeah. I was fourth. I
Okay.
was, believe it or not, I was fifth before the last stage. I was eliminated before the last stage. That's how bad the last night was for me.
But sometimes that's how it is with round ones because you don't know
Oh,
who you're playing against and it's just so unpredictable.
yeah. I talked about it in stream. It was terrible how some people played. It's, yeah. I hope going forward, like second round and third round, like in inline, you can score points mid stage and then score points at the finish. But classics, if you have people playing ratting or stuff, you can't do anything with like alone. And then you relay for people, and those people attack you at the end, and then you score zero. See, that's a problem. Inline, you can score mid stage. You can control your efforts. Tour, I think tour, yeah, it's just skill. Of course, people dictate who escapes or not, but it's most of the time, if you're the second, like the best player in the group, you still move on second or third, no problem. See, but in classics, imagine in the like you can read the names again. I was eliminated after two stage in that lobby, so yeah.
Make classics is, as you said, it's just a sprint, so you don't have any, you don't have more chance. My ears. Thank you,
Yeah.
Emil. Or Yes. Yeah, you don't have many chances to prove yourself. So if you make a bad sprint, that's 1/3 of your chances gone for qualification. But the good thing
Exactly.
is that we have 4 people qualifying in each group, which is a good number. So everyone can have a chance in qualifying here.
Uh, so yeah, here we go. Here we go.
We will be
I have
following Group L mainly, where our president and chairman and our god streamer EMEA 90s is.
our soon to be gone
Oh,
president.
I refuse to believe that. That's just a theory. It's a
No,
myth.
you don't refuse to believe because he's not gonna be gone. He's,
Exactly, he's
he's
not gonna be gone.
he's gonna come back in 7 months to
7 months? Oh,
impeach.
that's too much.
It's gonna be 7 months to impeach Joe and take back his throne. Okay, yeah, I saw the thing coming. I swear to God, never. I'm done after this World Cup. So
I
our
believe it's just
president,
a conspiracy. He's never gonna leave us.
just told me in commentators that yes, he will actually impeach Joe and
You heard it here first, folks.
sorry, Joe. I'll go with Emil on this one. So it's almost time. We actually also noticed that there is more attendance today than yesterday, and trust me, this will affect the race as there is narrow roads and cobble, so people have to stay in the front, and we will see the most experienced players, I think, stay in the front at the entry of narrow cobble hills. Yeah.
We welcome Ben Young into the commentary, a person who had an amazing day one last night, qualifying super dominantly in Group E. Welcome.
He's not gonna talk. No,
I'm
he's
just talking, but
okay.
he wants on.
Ben Young can't talk, but he told us what he thinks about yesterday. So he told us that he was lucky to qualify and that he didn't actually deserve it. As the race starts here, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see uh, the first attacks. We already see a train preparing at the front with the player. Yeah, so it's interesting to see. We can already see how people will attack, and yeah, so we see Leo having two trains of three players, so three riders. So he's gonna attack with three riders, that's for sure.
Oh
And
my god, Eneko is already having a train. He's having a moment at the back. So I believe Eneko is already.
What is happening?
I'm speechless.
So
I
we believe
think
that Eneko is having a lot of mechanical issues there.
And Eneko, I think it's a strategy from Eneko. Lose 5 minutes and then gain. Yeah, I think we will see. Maybe it's a strategy from Eneko. We'll see. We'll see. So.
Well, the timing is pretty quiet in the peloton still, but that's to be expected because the race is yet to really go underway with the cobble sections and the uphills.
Don't also forget that I heard that Eneko is a great TTT player, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that he comes back and wins the stage. So, moving on, Jose Pereira with the first attack of today. Let's go. We don't see this much. Enjoy, because
Oh,
he will be.
Hello, Joe. Welcome.
No,
Yeah.
Is it gonna be a restart then, Emea? Nothing has happened. I would say a restart would be fair.
what's the issue?
And a call crash, internet crash, and he's 7 minutes behind. 8.
And who's the host?
Hey?
Who
Any
is the
call.
host?
MBI is
It's Group L.
Why? How is he fallen 7 minutes behind without the game being passed?
He
It's
tried-
it's like he
stopped.
pressed wait on Emea's rider.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then,
it's AI, dead AI. Yeah.
yeah, and he didn't even like accelerate after. It's
That
like
AI
Yeah.
would that AI would not kick in because he wasn't kicked. It doesn't matter now. You need to solve the issue. That's only that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody attacked pretty much, so I would say restart.
yeah.
He said to keep playing.
Oh, if he's not able to join, then yeah, we have to go. It's interesting here to see who's gonna be using the 85 Sprinter as a domestic and who's gonna try and preserve him. I'm
Yeah,
sure there are players here that will try to preserve him till the end, and we see Sean trying to push the Palata to the group now.
Yep.
So we'll have, I believe we'll have every player represented in
Every
the first
play,
here.
yeah. If it's every player, we might see a shutdown on the second group, and the race will be played here. We will see. I think people will try to like people here. We try to make a move with their leader. Yeah,
Leo Falado trying to bridge
yeah.
with his remaining team, I believe. Is that right? No, it's his first team.
Actually, it's interesting because he was actually bridging with his puncher.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
it's
is,
like
I wouldn't say he's the main leader. Would you,
he's
after seeing the results of yesterday?
he's not, but in my group he was. So
So
depends
that's why
how the
he's at the
race.
front. He wants to make a hard race.
Yeah.
Alder given the pace in the front. The gap is only 40 seconds, and with the size of this group, that shouldn't
So
be big.
you see, the kind of things that good players know is that people like Martin, who is an inexperienced player, as you can see, he's putting maintain a 90 on Rivera, and then you can like as fast as Alder wants to go, Martin will follow. So he can use that as you see what I mean, to drag the group faster instead of getting cut. Like people will just not follow his pace and it will create a gap. But here Martin will follow any pace, so people will use it to actually go faster.
Mm-hmm. Or use it to kill his opponent, which is something I actually did last night on the
Yeah,
mountain stage, where energy is 5-0.
this is actually like a little but interesting gap because we see how big the front group is.
It is. We saw
Yeah,
Jorge first
and
before,
Jose knows it, so he's trying to close right now because
but
he
everyone
feels
is onto
that
him. They know the
yeah.
kind of player he is. So Grupo Compacto. Then again, Ugo is trying to panic up there, but everything is back together. And now I believe everyone will try and rest a bit because there was a lot of energy spent there trying to chase the two groups together.
Yeah. In my group, it was a red fest. There's like 60 kilometers from the finish. Like no one could, like, it's also it's always stressful. Like the first race of the first event of World Cup. No one wants to lose so much energy or too much energy. So everyone is writing. You see what I mean? So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the race stays like this for another 60 kilometers or something. Yeah. Emma, can you give us a look at the finish so I can remember the finish
It's
of
a
this stage?
downhill in the
Yeah.
last The
Right.
last like
So
800
so
meters will beat uphill.
Super.
yeah, such a long straight at the end.
That downhill prompts you to go early, as we said earlier.
Yeah,
It's
but
just arrow
it's a
straight.
trap. Yeah, it's a trap. Yeah, it's the one that cracks the first is the one who's gonna lose. I remember what happened in my sprint is that uh, I thought that they were going too slow and that I could go faster with 85 and then start my sprint. But the moment I went 85, everyone jumped in my wheel. Then I was just a lead out. Like
Yeah, exactly.
that's
But with the sprinting feature of this game the last 2 years, I would say it's better to be early than late, because the blocks are just so bad in a sprint.
true.
And as you said, I got third, you got fourth even with going early. So it's not too terrible.
Yeah, true. Hello,
Hello
Snake.
guys.
Hello.
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 Sorry for being late.
Welcome.
Yeah,
You
I'm so
haven't missed
happy
me.
you're here. Yeah, I'm so happy you're here because I have to go to work.
Yeah, understood.
So, yeah, good luck. Thank you. See you later, guys.
Bye.
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 We have Jose trying to attack once again. The peloton seems to be chasing only 13 seconds behind, and then Sean is bridging to him. We have Alder joining as well, all of them with 3 riders, and the gap is half a minute already. They are not hesitating to work, and there's a big split in the peloton now. People trying to bridge in and attack. Makes a big split in the peloton, 25 versus 15. We see pretty much all of them in the first group once again,
I think
except
Leo
Blind.
isn't in the front.
Blind is the only one that is not represented in the front.
Leo also has 6 behind.
Leo as well, good point there. So it will be completely up to them to close this gap down. And now they're already onto the cobble section, so the race is going to be underway now. Leo Fallander uses that section to try and bridge with riders.
And what is interesting is that Leo is using both the puncher and the cobbler to go in the breakaway. So he seems to be playing with the 77 sprint for the stage.
Or the 85 even. He has the ability to do that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think if in case the break win, it's always better to have a stronger rider in front because the effort
Exactly.
would be bigger.
Jose was briefly dropped there from the peloton to take extra day to close it. And now this breakaway looks strong. There is good cohesion there in the pacemaking at the front. So the gap is extending slowly. Leo Hanaji tries again with 4 riders. Blind is onto him, but he does get a gap, and he seems to be able to bridge, and he
Bridges
does.
easily.
So now there is a big pacemaker in the peloton away from it, but everyone is back together except A2. Who is in A2?
I think Leo too has been dropped. Yeah, but it's another peloton that will come back quickly, I think.
Oh, and they stopped pacing, so now there is a gap that they need to close. Sean bridged, but then didn't manage to keep that
The
gap
pace is increasing in
closed.
the front. I
The
think.
pace is really high in the front. It seems to be
Yeah.
Alder pacing there.
I think a few of them have. Yeah, so Alder has 6 in front, I think. Um, so he's just trying to. But yeah, he's back together now. But that's what you'd expect from this kind of classic because it doesn't really have the terrain to create huge gaps, but you have to be aware every kilometer because each bump, each cobble sector can create a gap. And I mean, I don't know if you talked about it, but last night there were like 6 groups and 4 different type of riders won, which is quite rare for classic. I saw the cobbler guy won, the puncher in a few groups. Joe won with the 77, and Ush managed to win with the 82 sprinter. I don't know how he got in there, but yeah, if the pace is really slow and we have a bunch sprint, those with the 82 sprinter will be. Yeah, they have a great shot at winning this, but
That's
it's
right,
really not that easy to get the 82 there. because
Fast
yeah,
had a great position last night that contributed to the fact that he survived with the sprinter. But as I said last night as well, I said in the voice chat that I'm not sure who to use as a domestic because I have four leaders here. And as you confirmed, there are four riders that can win this, which makes a really interesting race, but a very chaotic one because there are so many possibilities. There are so many breaks that have a winning move
yeah.
in them.
And Hugo seems to be protecting his Philipsen, which is the 82 sprinter. So
Mhm.
maybe we can keep an eye on him, because I don't think Leo took the 82 sprinter. Um, but yeah, if Leo is playing for the 77th sprinter, then he doesn't really want the pace to be that high, I think. And if the pace isn't that high, maybe Hugo has a chance to make it with the 82 sprinter. But then again, we can expect some attacks on the Quarmont and the Bosberg. So we'll just take a look at who's left then. Okay.
We have Alder trying to get a gap there in the front. Ron is following him behind, but we're already out of the cobble section. These cobble sections in this race are not long enough, I would say, to make a major gap. But nevertheless, it is tight. It is left and right, up and down, so anything can happen. Alder did manage to get a gap there, and he's going away with 3 riders. But it's Sean, surprisingly, who is trying to bring this back. With the 6-man train, it has finally happened.
And now we'll take a look at some other groups going on tonight, starting with Group G, where we'll have the point of view of Metal Beer, very zoomed in his riders. But as we can see, there's a big breakaway with 16 riders, and it's a bit tough to see who's represented in the front, but I guess, yeah, Metal Beer is in the front, and another Portuguese guy is pacing. So maybe we can keep an eye on a breakaway win there. Then we can see the group H, which is more ahead in the race because there's 75 kilometers left. And then we have a smaller break, but we're coming into this kind of hilly terrain where every attack can create a gap. So as you can see, someone is getting dropped now. So Gazink and Krekva. But yeah, they're quite ahead in the race, I think. So maybe this is a group that will finish first.
That is a group to keep an eye on because, as Ibra and I said in the debrief of the groups, every player in there has a good chance of qualifying.
Yeah,
So it'll
that's
be a
true.
very, very fought group, which is very nice to see already in the round 1 of the World Cup.
We can maybe take a look at the group of A gap, which is group I. And there, quite similar scenario from the group of Ghosty with a small break of 8, so maybe three teams represented in front. As you can see, A gap has 5 riders left in the peloton, so maybe there's one in front or someone a bit behind. But yeah, they are 83 kilometers from the finish. So yeah, so as we can see, okay, so the Spanish guy has 6 guys in the front, so that's quite interesting. Maybe it's not the best stage to go all in, but if people don't react fast enough, maybe you can. I mean, even 30 seconds at the start of the Cuermo is enough to win, because you just pass with your riders better than anyone else, and you can have a man advantage in the finish. So yeah, all in from the Spanish guy. I don't have his name right now. I'll look for it. I think it is.
We had an all-in move in our group of EMEA in Group L. Alder got caught with his 4 riders that he had in the front, but then he decided to team attack with the entire team. Then Shaw decided to follow him with a full team. I'm not sure why they're panicking this early, but now everyone is caught together and Leo Palantry is attacking with everyone on the same side with
Yeah,
4
this is
riders. So they seem to be exchanging blows here
yeah, this
just
is the
before the big
typical.
hit
I
start.
don't want to pace, but I also want to try to make other react and waste riders. But
Exactly.
I mean, seeing at the players playing in this lobby, everyone is pretty well experienced. So I don't think we can expect someone getting away, at least not before the finish of the stage. Okay, and now we'll take a look at Group J. So we have Joe as external host, and as we can see, it's so 40 kilometers from the finish. We still have a packed peloton with Kingmaker pacing in the front, and Frico also. So the two French guys trying to pace a bit before one big climb, but after this one it will be just flat and downhill until the foot of the Quermont where the race will be decided. So yeah, 35 kilometers from the finish. This is good to keep an eye on because I think this is the first group that will finish. And yeah, and now Swaxan is trying to attack. Yeah, so those kind of attacks can be really good because, as I said, you just need a few seconds. If you're alone at the bottom of the cobble climbs, it can be enough. But now Jasper is reacting quite fast, so yeah, I don't think Swaxan will try again. But now, yeah, 30 seconds from the finish. So before coming back to this, we'll take a look at Group K. And they are oh, okay. They are 100 kilometers from the finish, so there's still quite a road to pace, and still a packed peloton. So nothing much going on there yet, but it will not. They will come back to this later because they are still very far. And now back to the mainstream.
I've been
With
keeping an eye here
Leo.
the
Yeah.
group all, and it seems that Leo Falantry and Alder have been on the attack non-stop. So with all that attacking and still not a major gap here, you really need to have a look at Jose Pereira and Captain Blind, who have done absolutely nothing so far and will definitely have the fresher domestics in here. But again, you also had Hugo struggling at the back of the peloton all the time, trying to close gaps. His leader will not have the best legs in here, not a chance.
And
Is Alter still in the front, as has been the case
yeah,
since the
and
start of the race?
Group J is attacking the Quermont. So with Swaxan in the front, he tried to get a gap with the 77. But yeah, now they're at the foot, and Jasper is pacing with this Cobble leader, but he's already dead somehow. Now Swaxan is trying to go. He's joined by Frico with one rider, but that's a small gap for the Englishman, former world champion. So yeah, the peloton will be very stretched out in this kind of race. And now at the foot of the Bosberg, it will be a matter of who has enough red bar to get everyone to the top. But Stein looks quite good now with 4 riders. Maybe he has a sprinter or somewhere. Yeah, he has Arnaud Dely, I think, is the sprinter. Okay, it doesn't look like we'll get gaps there. Okay, so they are 13 playing for the win. Maybe the group from behind gets back. Yeah, so 18. So I think there are some sprinters there. As Frico is trying an attack, That's interesting move. Swaxon joining. This can be the winning move. If there are enough bar to get 85 to the end, they can't be catched. But yeah, Swaxon. Yeah, Swaxon is trying to get Frico to wait because Swaxon knows that he can't win if he's behind two groups. But in the same time, Frico doesn't really have a choice but go all in there. That would be a bit dumb of him to wait for Swaxon. He's just losing time now. So he has 19 seconds, but I think it's Kingmaker is pacing. Yeah, Kingmaker, he must have the puncher guy, I think, in his will. Yeah, Cosnefra. So he'll try to win for him, as Stein is trying to move, pacing. He's got Swaxon, but Frico still have 10 seconds. Maybe he can make it. I doubt it though. They have great sprinters there. Yeah, he'll be caught, and Swaxon as the 77 sprinter. He'll launch. Oh. Okay. Swaxon in great position now. Stoins right behind. And Swaxon will take the win. Oh. No, Swaxon is taking the win in front of Stein. Andrew Walker and Frico with Will and fourth. Now back to the main, to the center court of Group L, which will be heading into the Quarmont shortly. So only 4 riders have been dropped. I don't know who they are. Someone must have been caught behind and won't be playing for the stage. So yeah, Alder and Leo Falandri are trying to pace to get in front. But now, yeah, I hope we don't see much blocks. And Alder is trying to go. Leo in great position there. He's attacking with his cobbler, I think. Yeah, Van der Poel with Alaphilippe in the wheel. That's great position from the world champion there. The big dog and Jose Pereira just behind. It's a stretch that, but no one is cracking yet. I don't know if there are some. Maybe Philipson is there. I know he was playing for it. No, Philipson is a bit at the back. Yeah, I don't think Philipson will make it. Hugo seems to have abandoned him a bit.
There are just 15
And now
kilometers left.
Alder is trying to pace hard on this last climb, which is the Bosberg. Yeah, Alder as the cobbler, the puncher, and the 77 sprinter. And Leo is attacking again with the puncher. Ooh, this is a ballsy move because the puncher doesn't have the best of flat stat to. I don't think, yeah. So, oh, and now Hugo has 2. Oh, 20 seconds. So now Hugo will pace with the cobble guy, I think, and he has his puncher for. Oh, he's stopping somehow.
Just 10 kilometers left.
In H.
It could be decisive.
Yeah, Ghosty, and the break will be cut just on the line. It's hard break, and it's Simone taking the win in front of Holatefon, so a bit of surprise there, and Pixar in third, with fourth for the Ghostman. Now back to the center court with 5k to go, and I think Hugo is pacing in the front, or is it Leo? No, it's Leo Falandri. Leo Falandri, still 20 riders there, and Leo has the 82 sprinter. Wow. No, Sagan is 77, pardon me. Same as Jose Pereira, and they will be launching now. 3k to go.
Onto the final stretch, here we go. We have leaders side by side. Van Aert and Hugo trying to squeeze the middle, but it's not in the
a
line.
bit of swerve. Leo
Falandri in the middle.
77. Sagan got dropped, got blocked, but maybe
Leo
it's
through the
still enough.
center, then it's Sean
And
through the
it's
line.
the big
Late
dog.
launch by Sean and takes the victory ahead of Post and Leo Falandri.
What a
Out there in
surprise.
fourth. Ulko in fifth, Captain Blind in sixth. That is a bad result from Blind given he did nothing all day, but what a late launch by McClay.
Yeah,
Just
that's
off the
great
shot there.
result for him. And yeah, with four players qualifying out of the group, winning a classic almost guarantees a qualification. So
Exactly.
that's a very great result in front of not only but Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri. So that's huge result.
Huge indeed.
And in the group of A Gap on the line, it's Finn taking the win in front of A Gap by just a small margin. So this is group I think. Yeah, it is. So in group I, we have the win of Finn in front of A Gap. And yeah, it's a great result. And now we only have 2 groups left. Oh, I didn't see, but in the group of G, yeah, it just finished, and we have the win of who else but Basso. Big surprise there. I think in front of Tuanu, with his future also.
Sorry to interrupt. It was a very tense sprint, as you guys could see here in Group L. I opted for a late launch. Jose was second, Leo third, and Alder fourth. So from the 5 guys that we predicted could be the guys fighting for the top 5, 4 of them ended in that for the top 4. Sorry, 4 of them ended in that top 4. Captain Line was sixth. Back to you.
And now we only have 1 group left racing. There are still 35 kilometers till the end, so we'll have a good time to analyze this finish. The others were a bit quite close to each other, so it was a bit hard to keep track of everything. But now we'll have a better look at it. So we have Groot with the Norwegian jersey. So they're 33 kilometers to the end, and we have an attack in the front by Italy. Let me just come up with the name of everyone participating there, but I think it's Francesco Grassi. Yeah. Francesco Grassi attacking. So yeah, this attack is very popular on this race because yeah, you want to have a small gap coming into the cobble climbs. So a lot will try them, but few will succeed. But there, Francesco Grassi seems to have a bit of a gap because 20 seconds. Yeah. They don't seem that alert on this attack. Lennart is pacing behind of a Belgium jersey. We also have Electro on the France 1 jersey, I think. So yeah, Grassi with a bit of a lead there is faster than he was. So now he got 30 seconds, and this might be the winning move. Well, 4 kilometers from the bottom of the Quarmo. And yeah, and now they're trying to position themselves behind Groot with the 77 sprinter, Boissenhagen. Maybe I'll try to play for him. But now with Grassi having this little lead, he'll try to, I think, pace as hard as he can behind to bridge up to those guys and try to have an advantage after the Bosberg. But now we'll see. Grassi getting caught, but still having a bit of an advantage, I think. Boissenhagen got a bit blocked behind, Copy in good position. Yeah, Boissenhagen is trying to find ways to get around all those riders. You don't want to get dropped there. He needs to hold on to the wheels, and yeah, he's getting dropped. So now he'll have to do big effort to come back, but he still have Johannessen, which is the puncher in the front. But yeah, Grassi, as expected, 3 men in the front, increasing the pace. And Groot is trying to wait, I think. Yeah, that's a bit of a all-in move, and I don't think it's the right one. You have to keep at least one guy in the front, and yeah, he seems to be keeping Johannessen in the front. and yeah, he's just behind. Yeah, now he's dropped to Giannis, and yeah, that's a gamble. He's gambling on everyone to wait in the front, but I think that we have one rider pressing hard in the front. I don't quite can see who it is. Maybe it is Raoul with the Netherlands jersey. No, it's French, so it has to be Electro, I guess, or Copy. Yeah, so Groot will have a bit of a from the back. Yeah, Copy has Copy has 4 riders in the front. That's impressive. Yeah, so realistically, yeah, and Groot has abandoned the idea of playing for the 77. So yeah, he tried to wait for him, but now he just lost everything. He'll try to bridge the gap with the 8 cobbler, but I do think that the race will be won in the front, especially since we have Copy with 4 riders, Gracie with 3, Electro with the Hill guy, and we have a Raoul with 2 riders, so only 4 riders represented in the front. Groot trying a late attack, but it's too late, and the sprint will be launched in the front. Copy with 4 riders, Gracie with 3. Gracie will be the first to launch. Or Copy seems to have a bit mismanaged there, and Gracie in the front. Gracie, and it's a win. Is it a 1-2? It is a 1-2 for the Italian. What a start of the World Cup for him. And oh wow, we have a 1-2 from Gracie and a 3-4-5-6. No, my bad. We have okay. So Gracie goes 1-2, Electro goes 3, and Copy with 4 riders and 4-5-6. So yeah, a bit of a fail for him, but he still gets, I think, 3rd place. But also I think that the riders that were behind, so that is, I think Groot and the Belgium guy will get 0 points because they were not in the leading group of 6 riders. So yeah, 1-2 for Gracie is already qualified, but yeah, now we'll get to the second stage. Every group finished with the loop, and now it's time for the mountain stage, which is quite hard. I played it yesterday, and yeah, there's a few scenarios you can expect. Either people try to blow things up with a breakaway, and trying to bridge to the breakaway with your leader, but also there are some groups where it just was your typical sprint finish in a mountain. So, but I think in this lobby with Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri, the big dog, we can expect some moves, and I don't think we'll get at least not 10 peloton men sprint, and yeah, at least we'll get some attacks there. So this is the first group that started, which is the group G, I think. So yeah, Swagson with Orca, I think, in the breakaway. Maybe not Orca, no, it's Russian, my bad. We have Lenak also represented there, and Frico. So 12-man breakaway. Swagson has 4 riders, so I'll try to be increasing the pace in front, and we'll be looking at the reaction from the peloton because some players aren't represented in front. This is the case of Jasper, the Belgian. But yeah, you don't really need to be in the breakaway to win this race because yeah, there's no like KOM points or points to take before the finish. But you still need to be aware that if a breakaway goes away, you're not there, and no one wants to pace behind. Yeah, it will be very hard to come back. So Swagson wants to play on both sides, so bringing his hill guy and the 78 mountain in the front to maybe try to bridge with his leader from behind, or just try to have a bit of a bar advantage when they catch the breakaway. But now, yeah, only 40 seconds advantage. So I think we can
The team leaders
expect
should have their work cut
that
out,
some
and they're going to
players
have to
behind are
count on the support
pacing.
of their teammates. Alone, it looks difficult, unless an ideal opportunity offers itself.
I count, yeah, so only 4 players are represented in the front. So that must mean that at least 3 are pacing behind. 4 even, no, 3. And as we have started on the center court, yeah, not much going on there, but we can expect first attacks at the bottom of the Kerenzerberg. Pardon me for my pronunciation. So right now we have Martin trying to keep a steady pace, maybe try to avoid some attacks. And we don't see yet Leo Falandri and Jose Pereira. Maybe they're in the back trying to save bars, but I do think that we'll see them on the attack, if not in this climb, on the very next one. As we are approaching the foot of the Kerenzerberg, only a few meters, and there we are, and this is
Here
when we
we
can
are
expect
in
the first
climber
attacks.
country. They're off on the
Maybe
first
Hugo
slope of
goes
the
now.
day.
Okay, Martin is still pacing. Maybe he'll try to go with his 6 men. Oh no, okay. So Martin
The
is the
riders
first
are
to
going
attack
through a
with
very tough portion
Danny
with
van Poppel
percentages
and Bauke
above
Mollema, which is
10%.
the hill guy and the 77 sprinter. So not much of a threat there. And Alder
Their
is
front group is
counter-attacking,
disorganized,
and
and
this is a
some
big
riders
one.
are exploiting this opportunity to attack.
And Martin seems to be following with... Okay, Martin went with 6 riders, but he didn't manage to get quite that gap. So
A rider just launched
yeah, a
an
bit
attack.
of a... Yeah, could have maybe went with 6, but of course it's still very early and maybe he doesn't want to take such risk. But as we see Hugo, okay, so Alder has also the 70 Sprinter and the Puncher, and Hugo with the Van Wilder, which is the 78 Mountain.
There are
So
reports of several riders in difficulty.
yeah, the only rider which can really scare the peloton behind is the 78 Mountain, because the other ones are just too weak to expect some kind of result there, even if they get 4 minutes free. So back in the peloton, we can see Jose Pereira pacing. Oh, and we have big gap in front, because now we can see that Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri are stuck with 6 riders both at the back, and we have a 24-man breakaway. So maybe we can see some mind games between those two. Obviously, they're used to playing against each other, whether it is in the World Cup, in solo or in team. And those are the 2 big favorites. But right now they don't look in the best position, since Hugo captain blind, and I'd say, oh, and now Leo is dropped with a 6 rider. What is happening? Okay, this can be really dangerous for Leo. I think he'll make it back quite easily. And also Jose, I think, knows that he needs Leo to come back, so he doesn't have quite the reason to drop him. But yeah, in front we have, I think, Captain Blind, Alder, and Hugo with 6 men, which means that they will go all in there, but not fast enough, since with a lot of experience, Leo and Jose Pereira are catching the break quite easily. And now I think we can expect some counter attacks. Alder trying to keep a steady pace in the front. Maybe he's trying to drop someone wrong, bad position. But on this flat section, I don't think we'll see much attacks, and just wait for the next climb. Just have to drink a bit.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
Alright, back to the race. And now as expected, everything is now way calmer as everyone made it back. And so Leo is trying to stay in the front this time because I think even though he knew that he wasn't that much in danger, he still got scared of being dropped with 6 riders that early in the stage. Last night we saw, I think it was T2, which got dropped and never made it back, and now Leo is attacking. So he got enough of waiting back on the peloton and is trying to get a bit of a lead before this climb, which is the Klausen Pass. But as expected, everyone is following the world champion.
This seems to be a trademark attack so far today from Leo Ruiz, including Alaphilippe. But as I said, everyone is very wise to this because he is the world champion among many, many other titles that he owns. So now is Jose trying to keep this group with him because many riders are there and it could be a big threat just before this big climb, which will be very decisive as all the teams will go from 6 riders down to 4 or maybe 3 even.
Yeah, and Leo did, third in the first stage, which is not bad at all, but still not out of the danger zone, even though it would be a huge surprise to see the world champion getting out in the round 1. But we know what champions are made of. They want to win, and I think that Leo crossed this stage on his calendar, and he really wants this win. But
it is a beautiful stage.
Yeah, it is. And I really hope that we'll see some great racing there, and not just a sprint with 20 riders at the bottom of the last climb.
Oh, surely not. With this lobby, it will go very explosive.
That's also what I think, yeah.
But we can see here Blind not panicking. He's slowly pacing this group back with a steady pace. 3 riders there. It seems to be working.
Before a huge climb like this, you don't want to lose any bar on your climber in case things go sideways. But even then, Captain paced, quite good, I think. He caught the breakaway without spending too much energy. And now we'll see if someone tries to go. It's easier to attack in a mountain, like 15% right now. And Leo saw it and is getting away now with the 78. So he has the 3 climbers in the front. Of course not with the leader, but the other 3 big climbers are in the front. So this is a strategy that means that he'll be isolated quite fast behind, because he only has like a 69 mountain guy to help his climber. But that also means that maybe I'll try to bridge on the breakaway. But he saw that there was no point going on, and now he stopped, and we have a bit of a statu quo on this Klausen Pass. But of course, we're still a long way from the finish, and a lot of things can happen.
And although this is the steeper section of this climb, it's also the first one, and with a small valley between the two, I believe that the decisive move on this mountain will happen in the second part. So everyone is careful of that and trying to save those bars for that extra energy spending at the end.
Yeah.
The interesting thing here is that due to that long false flat and flat section even between the last climb and the penultimate and the major climb, is that although there should be people that will try and preserve numbers for that reason, it's also a great place to go early. As you saw in my group last night, we had Hash, who went with 2 riders in that downhill, and although he was caught on the mountain, he still made it through to the finish with a gap. So it's a great place to gain some free time ahead of the final climb.
Yeah, that's what we can see in classics. Like you just get a few seconds advantage at some point in the stage, and those can be very valuable in the end. But now, as we have a bit of a calmer part of the climb, we'll take a look at the other groups, starting with Group G, which just passed on the top of the first cat climb, and everyone seems to be together, even though there are only 14, but the group of 9 behind should make it back pretty easily. So yeah, this is a bit of an unusual camera settings from Metal Beer, very zoomed in on his riders. I mean, it's not the best to follow the race, but I mean, at least he's very close to his riders, and we can give him that. But yeah, he only has one rider in the front, I think, with Carlos Rodriguez. And yeah, so this is the group with Basso, who absolutely dominated the um, opening event. So I think we'll see him attacking, but maybe not quite right now. And now we'll take a look at Group H, which is the group of Gusty. They are still on the first climb, and they have a short breakaway of 6, but they do have 2 minutes advantage, and I see a few teams with 6 behind. So I'd guess we have, I think maybe we have Pixar with 2 in the front. Yeah, it's quite hard to see right now, but a big breakaway with an advantage, and if they can keep this lead in the downhill, they can be of great help in the next climb when they decide to attack. Now we'll take a look at the next group, which is Group I. And as we can see, still packed peloton, only a few riders dropped, but those will be the very bad climbers. So yeah, as we can see, no one in any group is trying to try to blow things up right away. I think the second climb is carrying everyone, because I think it's like 18 kilometers, very hard. And as I say, that Illings is attacking in the front right before this flat section. Maybe you can get a gap there if people don't react. But yeah, realistically, those riders aren't made to play for the stage, but more as a tactical advantage for the next one. And I think we can shortly come back to the center court, because I think we have some attacks at the top.
Indeed, we had Alder and Jose Pereira separate themselves at the start of the second part of that climb, and so they made a really decent lead out of over 2 minutes by the top of this climb.
Yeah, this is a big league, because they both have the 78 mountain guide, and he can go far, but also this strategy means that their 78 will have a lot more bars in the second climb, because they will pace harder behind, and maybe Jose Pereira will try to bridge the gap and try to go all in. So this is a very good sign for the rest of the stage. But for now, we'll try to finish our round of the groups with Group J? G? Is it J or G? I don't know.
J.
J, okay. Group J so as we can see, and this one we have big gap. Jasper, a bit. Wow, what happened there? So Jasper has 4 riders in the front. Frico is pacing behind. And Joe, could you point to me who Joe left? Okay, but who's the 9-man group in the front? Because surely they can play for the stage. So Jasper is the 82 mountain guy there with 2 minutes advantage. Yeah, so in front we have Swaxon with 78, Kingmaker with the 78 also, and I think it's Frico. So only 78 in the front. So that means that Jasper is actually in a great position, because he has the 230 minutes advantage in the rest of the peloton with his 82 mountain climber. So if he manages well, maybe he can go all the way. But it's still obviously long to the finish line. But it's a great attack from Jasper nonetheless. And the last group we haven't seen so far is the group K from so Grootmeister POV. And yeah, as we can see, Groot decided to attack with his 78 and his puncher, but he didn't find much help from the other. So this move is a bit doomed. And yeah, as we can see, he's not pacing that hard. And
We're
is
now at the
likely
halfway
to be
stage.
caught
It's a good time to take some food.
in a few seconds. And I think we'll now get back to the center court, which will be coming into the second climb shortly, still 10 kilometers. Because what is dangerous also about this stage is that it's not really flat between the climbs. As you can see, there will
Watch out, a
be
team
so we
leader
have
is falling
8
behind.
kilometers of rather flat until the intermediate sprint, which obviously doesn't count, but it's still there. And then we have like 5 to 10 kilometers, I think. I think it's 5-6 kilometers of false flat, which really hurts the leg of the riders, and you really don't want to spend too much energy there. But in the meantime, in front, if they keep on pacing, they can get a big lead in there.
Yes, indeed, they have maintained the gap from the top to the bottom slightly. It was over 2 minutes, but now it's just 1 minute and 40, which is good enough of a gap in order to be confident about having your best domestic at the top of this climb. However, at the back, it's solely been Martin and slightly Sean in the latter part of the course helping. So at some point, we saw Martin get a team attack gap, as was expected, because it was just him pacing before even they topped the climb. However, it seems that Sean and Martin have settled in pacing themselves.
And this must be very frustrating for Jose
Exactly.
Pereira, seeing a 6-man train pacing, closing his attack. But I mean, Jose Pereira, of course, the guy with the most medals in World Cup history, he knows that he won't win the stage with the 78 in the front, but he'll try to stop the stage with a lot of bars on him, and I personally think he'll try to bridge with his 82 mountain guy behind, um, because if not, it doesn't make any sense to have attacked before. He has 130 advantage, and if he manages well, I think he can gap at least other 78. But yeah, of course, Alder right there with him, which could be in the same move. And we have an attack behind, only 5 minutes. Maybe this is Martin that tried to go with everyone. Yes, and this is very interesting because now we can see maybe some. The big dog is reacting.
Blind just doesn't want to relay in this lobby,
Yeah, this is
and
a
it's
bit.
general his tactic, and also Alder. Hugo, I have never seen him in the front in this stage, but it's completely up to Sean, the group leader, to be fair, to close this down.
Yeah, I think they're trying to abuse the fact that Sean is leading the group, but I don't think it should matter that much in classics. I
Alder
mean,
is dropped in the front though. That is a big moment
yeah,
for him. He does not want to drop from Jose's wheel, but it
yeah,
seems like he's waiting.
yeah. This is
It's in
all,
such
and maybe he's
percentages
attacking
that the
behind.
strongest can
I think that
create some
Halder might
gaps.
try to attack. At least he's pacing hard,
Yeah, I
and
think he wants to bridge to Martin and then go with him,
mhm.
and he
And yeah,
manages to do so.
a gap created, and now Hugo will be forced to respond.
Ooh, a bit blocked there by Sean's domestic with Hugo's riders.
Yeah, obviously not mean.
But this is good for Jose, sort of,
Mhm.
because he doesn't want his domestic to wait for the mountain guy. He prefers the
Yeah.
mountain guy to have a fast-paced peloton and reach out to him, so that he can be the only rider who has his domestic at that
Because
stage.
this is a very long stage and a long climb. Like we still have 15 kilometers to the top, and we already been in it for quite a few kilometers. So Jose is trying to play things quite calmly. Um, but yeah, I think we can expect the Portuguese to attack, and I think Leo knows it, and that's why Leo is trying to mark him from behind. while having attacked in the front. Yeah, so now Jose is forced to close the gap, and Leo can just stay on his wheel.
And
But
everything
Jose,
is almost back together except Jose's domestics, where they keep hanging on at around a minute's gap. We saw Sean suffering a bit to keep contact with the group there, but he manages
The
to
group
come
is
back
slowly thinning out due to such a frantic
maintain
pace.
himself there. And now Jose is down to 2 riders. He continues the pace with the mountain guy. Surely will be able to survive this, but the point is, with this many riders and only 10Ks to go here, is it worth for him to bridge to the domestic of his solo? Because at this rate, I think most teams will have 3, maybe 4 even domestics at the top of the spine, unless the race really explodes here. And now
I don't
they're
think
trying
that's
to
gonna
make that
happen.
happen.
Yeah, I think, I mean, trying to look at it from a very like PCM point of view, Jose has an advantage of the 78, but if he does not drop other 78, it doesn't mean anything for him, because after the downhill everyone
This
will
climb
have
features some
recovered this
dreadful
bar.
percentages.
So yeah, now Jose is attacking and Captain opened the gap, and now Leo will be forced to respond, because now Jose, quite frankly, will try to pass with 2 riders at the top, and I don't think
This is the
anyone
last
can
third of the
deny
race.
him that,
The team
besides
leaders have
maybe
their minds
Alder
fixed on today's goal.
and Martin also with great bars. But behind, if they try to catch Jose, they'll likely lose every helper.
Exactly. We saw Jose waiting and waiting for someone to just try and cage the peloton, but nobody did. Blind was in the front with 6 riders who just did not want to pace at all.
I also
So
think
Jose had to force himself to bridge to the front, which he has done.
And this is great racing. He managed to create a gap with the peloton. Captain was a bit sleeping in the front. Maybe Leo Falandri put too much trust on the other Frenchman, because now Leo is in a tough position, because now Jose will dictate the stage, and we'll see who's at the top left. Only 5k to go, but we can expect pace to pick up quickly. And yeah, as we can see, Alder still with 4 riders, but now okay, so Alder and Jose Pereira both with 2 riders.
Everyone will be with
yeah,
2, I reckon, at the end
I
of
think
this
that
time.
Jose has the 78 in his will, which means that he wants to keep him for the downhill. Yes, exactly.
Leo is still with 3.
Yeah,
and he's going strong.
I mean, we can expect other domestics to be stronger, because they didn't try to make moves and all, and now Leo is going behind. Now it's a tough
He needed to
situation,
make this
because
bridge, didn't
yeah,
he?
he needs to come back, but also Jose doesn't want him to come back. Only 1.3k to go to the top. I don't
Alder is
think
going strong,
everyone
very
will keep
strong.
his 78. I really doubt that. Jose will try to make a last push
The
on this
pace is
climb.
so high that a few
Leo
riders are
trying
going to be very sore at the end of the day.
desperately. Now Jose, Alder,
Just in time for Leo. Perfect
and
timing, and he missed the front.
and
Blind
everyone.
finally decides that it's time to make some action here.
And
They're
Jose
heading downhill, so they've got to make sure to keep warm and make no mistakes on their
easily
trajectory.
in front, but yeah, no point really to try to break away in this downhill. He got a small gap, but he really doesn't want to be alone in this downhill. So now we're 3 riders with, honestly, the 3 best mountain riders in the group, with both their 78 and their 82 mountain guy. So we can see a collaboration from them, and if they do, yeah, the people behind aren't coming back, or at least they need to come back right now. And I think Hugo
You
is
can see
going
Jose asking for a relay in the chat.
I think that Hugo is going 99 in the F group.
Hugo is solo, this to be noted. I'm not sure if Sean is solo. I wouldn't think so.
I think in A1 someone has his 78, he tried to keep him, and in F maybe we have Hugo and Captain Blind with only 1. I don't know. Emea, could you show us the F group? Yeah, as expected, this is Hugo and Captain Line with only their leader. And
I
then
would say it's best for them to just wait for A2. It's not worth killing their leaders just to panic and close this down.
yeah, but I mean, if they relay in front, they aren't coming back from behind. But also, if they try to bridge there, maybe they can't win the stage, but at least they can do 4 and 5. But now waiting, I don't know. Because behind, okay, the big dog is further behind with the 78. Yeah, I mean, it's looking very good for those in the front.
Indeed.
And in the other
Blind
groups,
is panicking now.
we
Blind
are
is
close
sprinting
to.
with all he has in order to close, and he's just not closing.
Yeah, so we'll try to keep another look also, especially in the group J, where they are attacking the last climb with 8 riders in the front, and the peloton of 11 with 11 guys right behind them, 230. So yeah, Swagson with 3 riders, the 78. I mean, 2 minutes is a lot, but also with 82 Mountain, it comes back quite fast. But I do think that we have, I think it is Jasper with the 82 Mountain guys in front. Oh no, Swagson also. Oh yeah, Swagson has this. Swagson will win the stage, I think. He managed to get his 82 Mountain guy in the front. Yeah. I haven't followed that much from this group, but it seems that some Swaxon Masterclass happened because now he's pacing with Chris Froome, which is the 82 Mountain guy, and with Gergenhardt 78 protecting, he really doesn't, he really can't lose this stage. Further behind, we have Steen, Kingmaker, trying to play for other places, rankings, but for the win, I think that Swaxon has this. And I think Frico in front doesn't have his 82, and his 82 is in this group in E5. So maybe he'll get cut, and it will be interesting to see if Jasper can hold on to Swaxon's wheel and get second. Yeah. Kingmaker not trying to bridge. But yeah, what's likely to happen is just this group playing for third, and Swaxon is dropping everyone. Honestly, I could even see a 1-2, but I don't think we'll get it. But surely Swaxon will win this stage. As obviously we're keeping an eye on the other groups, as group group that is the group G. Just started the final climb with a huge peloton of 24 and a lone rider from Il Terry, Italian, with 1 minute advantage, but we'll try to keep on the group of Swaxon now till the finish line. Swaxon with 1.2 minute advantage on the others, and yeah, and okay, someone got dropped in the front. I think Swaxon lost to 78 and dropped Jasper, yeah, as expected. So, I mean, Jasper got a great move on the peloton with 2 minutes gain in the flat section. So we could expect this kind of result for the Belgian. Oh, but he's dead. He's dead with 1k to go, so maybe he'll get cut. So, but one thing that's for certain is that Swaxon will win this stage quite easily, even celebrating. Wow, great win for the British. And maybe Jasper will get cut, but I don't think so. The others are just too far behind. Yeah, Jasper will get second, Stein third, or maybe Kingmaker can overtake him. Yeah, so Kingmaker third, Stein fourth, and Frico fifth, with Hunter Walker not scoring any points, sadly for him. And now we can quickly go to Group G with 3.5 kilometers left till the finish line, and also we are in the final climb on the center court, so we'll try to go back to it quite fast after the finish on Group G. But I think that we still have the Italian guy in the front. That would be a huge surprise actually, but I think that he will be getting caught 2k left with Chief Master Pro pacing. At least we're seeing the finish and an attack from Rafael. Only 7 guys left in this group. Tuanu there, and also Basso. I almost forgot it. Basso in this group playing for the sprint. Tuanu in the front at least. Only 800 meters left. Now we see Rodriguez in the back. Hopefully we come back to the front in time, and it's the sprint, and it's actually Tuanu taking the win in front of Basso, his first loss of the World Cup, with Pompon heading 4th, and Tisho heading 5th. So that's GG, and we'll get back quite fast to the center court because 5k to go, and this is an important one because Alder is pacing Leo Falandri right next to him. 13 riders left, everyone with 2 I think, besides the big dog and Martin. And now Leo Falandri losing an helper, Jose Pereira.
And
everyone is
switch to the front.
Everyone is getting dropped. It's Alder still with 78. A really, really great stage from the Colombian, trying to get a gap, but Jose Pereira was reacting.
You would expect these 3 riders to be in the front as they were the ones that had the ease on the top of the last.
Yeah, that's what I think. I didn't see
it
what
seems
happened
to be
in
between
downhill,
these 3 for the podium. Leo Falandri got blocked earlier in this climb. Let's see how well he survived to cover.
Alder, what might be worth noting is that Alder was the last one to lose his 78, so a bit of...
Also had one recently though.
Yeah.
And the big moment will be this right turn here.
And now the sprint is launched. Alder, Leo Falandri, Jose Pereira.
Jose through the middle. Now it's gonna be Alder.
No,
Alder takes it.
Alder
Impressive win by Alder there.
Leo Falandri. Jose Pereira will be 4th.
Sean comes in
Sean
4th,
which is a great result for him. You go 5th.
Martin just went slightly bit too early.
Yeah,
and asked to be explicit blind this last there because on the valley, he basically on the downhill just before the intermediate sprint, both the groups got collected. So it was a normal chase from the front and the back.
Sorry to interrupt you, but in Group H, we are at 2.5 kilometers from the finish line. So a big group there. So it will be almost a bunch sprint with Ghost still with his helper. So then Kamna is his 82 mountain guy, is now losing his helper. Kosti in the front. We're at almost the finish line. Simone, who won the first stage, is taking the lead, and now the sprint is launched with Ulikuls, and it will be a win for Pixar, Ghosty, or they both crack, and it is Pixar taking the win in front of Ghosty, and Dogo will be 3rd on a mountain stage. Old Afonso 5th, and Ulikuls taking the 4th place. And now on the not the last group, but the second to last group to finish the stage, we have A-Gap with the 82. I think it's against Francesco Grassi, if I don't mistake. No, it is Giacomo. Okay, so Dan Mike with 3 riders behind. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he attacked from the peloton. Okay, the peloton is back. But I mean, with the 82 mountain guy, Padun and Giacomo should make it to the finish line. I don't think they'll get caught. So we'll see a bit of relay going on. Maybe a gap. Yeah, that's smart of them to relay to make sure that they can make it to the finish line. Both of them. And it will be interesting because in the first stage in this group, we saw Finn taking the win in front of Agap and Giacomo. So there, Agap and Giacomo can assure both their qualification to the second round, and we'll see if Finn can secure a good result behind, maybe a third place, to also um, almost secure his qualification. But now we're at 1.5 kilometers till the end, and Agap is still leading, still pacing in front of Giacomo. I think is very confident on his bars, and yeah, he seems to be dropping Giacomo a bit. And oh, maybe Giacomo comes back. Now the sprint is launched, but no, Agap got this. Win for the Ukrainian in front of Giacomo, and yeah, great result for Finn, third in front of Ealings. Dynamite will get sixth, and I think it is one of the Spanish guys. I don't know if it's DDSS or 80PPK doing fifth, but nevertheless, I think we had the same top three on both stage, so those guys are already qualified.
All right, guys, I'm back. This was a very tense stage as well, not just a sprint, a very tense stage, movements, some tactics. I ended up, after trying to be in the break for a couple of times, ended up not being able to be there, and that would hurt me in the long
Mhm.
run. It was still a pretty good fourth place, though, considering the circumstances, and the first win. So right now, same top four, different positions, seems to be well headed for those four guys.
Yeah, the forecast look good, and now we're in Group K, coming into the last kilometers, still packed a bunch. But as you can see, Groot is chasing, looking for a win after his disaster class on the first stage, and Lennart is attacking in the front. And Lennart got actually a good gap with 20-ish seconds, and now it will be Groot trying to hold on to the wheels. And if Lennart can keep on going, and now Lennart is cracking, Groot still chasing, both of them are dead, and I think it's going to be a win for the Groot Meister in front of maybe Electro. And yeah, what a win for Groot. Yeah, he really did a bad performance on the first stage, and he totally redeemed himself there in front of Francesco Grassi, Electro, Raul doing fourth, and Copy fifth, with Winemaster doing sixth and Lennart seven. They both attacked in the final kilometers, um, but yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. They didn't have the bars, but it still was a great attack from them. So now every group finished this stage, and and yeah, as we can see, in a lot of groups, it's the same riders taking points. Um, so for example, in the center court, we have an update on the rankings. So we have two-way ties as first with the Big Dog and Alder with 135 points. Right behind them, just 15 points behind, we have Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri with 120 points. So it's really close between the four first guys. But after this, we have Hugo Gol with 50 points, so that's 70 points behind the fourth position. So yeah, besides a miracle for the Frenchman, Belgian, my bad, for the Belgian, I think the top four will stay the same in this group. And we will be shortly starting on the last stage, which is a Cobble Ely stage taking place in the Great Kingdom, I think. It's a very hard stage, which can be won by a few riders. I think that you can win with both the hill guy, but also the cobbler, because there are a few 5-star sectors there. But one thing that is certain is that it's a great parkour to attack, and someone can attack from far and still make it to the end with a lot of downhills. And I think that if you are not reactive enough, trying to follow attacks on this kind of a stage, you just have no shot at winning.
That's correct. This parkour offers a great variety of tactics that can be used, and that's great for those who do not have enough points to have faith in a qualification that they need to have a win in order to go through. And you'll be sure to see some suicidal attacks here just as a last resort hope for a qualification from those who did not expect to go through today.
Exactly, yeah. And maybe we'll also see some mind games with people already qualified, having really no real reason to pace behind those guys. So maybe we can see some people getting a free ride. Last stage in rounds are often more strategical than anything. And we will see if some mind games happen, not on our center court though, because I do think that the top 4 is already locked, but everyone can finish first in the group, because only 15 points separate the 4 of them, which are Jose Pereira, Leo Falandri, the Big Dog, and Alder. So yeah, anyone that finishes in front of the other on this climb will be first in the round 1, which is very important for the round 2, for the draw and the seedings. But yeah, this is a bit of a cold start of the stage, at least until the first climb, which is very hard. I think it's like 15% slope. It's cobbled.
And it's also very, very narrow, which it makes it a whole set of a race just for a position before that hill.
Yes, this will be very hectic. Everyone will want to get to the front, and maybe we will see some players trying to attack with riders that are not good enough to pass the climb in the peloton. But if they get 1 minute ahead, then they will be surviving the climb when the peloton catches them. So this is a bit of a strategy that we could expect from some players there. But right now, no attack yet. I mean, Hugo has 50 points, so if he wins the stage, he could theoretically still qualify, but he'll need some help from the others, because it needs either Leo Falandri or Jose Pereira to end last in the stage, which really isn't very likely. And now we'll take a look at the rankings after 2 stages. Okay, so in the first group we have Basso leading by a small margin, only 1 point on Tuanu, so with 171 points, Tuanu 170, and then a huge gap with 85 for Pompon and for Chief Master Pro, and Tisho with 50 points. So everything is still up to grab for Tisho, that can still qualify. Then we have in another group Pixar leading the group in front of Simone and Gosti, 151 for Pixar, 118 for Greg Simone, and 105 for Gosti, all at the front, so just behind 95, and then bigger gap with Dogo and Gezing, 60 points and 53. So in this group also everyone can still make it, but it must be noted that Uli equals only 35 points, the reigning Tour world champion, a bit of a deception there. He could still qualify, but he'll need to win the stage at least. So we'll keep an eye on this. In the group I, we have Agap leading with 171 points, Finn, the German, 150 points, and Giacomo Italian with 120. and those three have a huge lead on the other because Dan Mike is fourth with 53 points, same total as Ealing's 53, and Komik and DDS with 35 and 25 respectively. So yeah, the top three seems a bit locked, but for the fourth place, which also is a qualifying place, they are tied right now between Dan Mike Ealing's, and basically anyone that does a good result can get that fourth place. In the Group J, total domination from Swaxon, who won the first two stages with 200 points. Stein is far, but still second with 105 points. Jasper with 96 points. Fourth, we have Andrew Walker with 68, 61 from Kingmaker, and 60 from Frico. So it's very close for the fourth place. And we can expect a big fight from them. In the Group K, we have Francesco Grassi with a big lead thanks to its 1-2 in the first classic with 190 points. Behind with Electro 120, Grootmeister with 100, and Copy with 78, Raul with 70. So then again, Copy, Raul, and Groot, even Electro playing for those qualifying place. Sorry. And in the last group, which I already mentioned, we have the Big Dog and Alda with 135 points, Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri with 120. So the fourth of them are almost already qualified. What's still to be played is the first place of the group, and basically anyone can get this with a great result on this last classic. And back to the race.
In Group L here, we see a lot of attacks, basically a rain of attacks here. We saw pretty much everyone being involved at some point, but now we have a big of a split here with the front and also three riders drop at the back. We saw Jose and Leo Falandri drop as well a couple of kilometers before, and Jose again is dropped with his 77 Mountain, the Puncher, and the Mountain guy, the GC guy. And I'm not sure if that's his leader. It's really a lottery here whether it's going to be the Cobble guy or the Puncher that is going to go for the finish. I don't believe that anyone will have more than two riders at the end of this stage. It's always going to be one or two for the finish. But what's your take on that? Who would you go for, the Puncher or the Cobble guy?
I mean, me personally, I went for the Puncher, just because I think that even if the Cobbler is a bit stronger on the cobble sectors, just for the sprint at the end, the acceleration from the Puncher is so valuable. But also I did a small mistake because I was in a breakaway with my 77 Sprinter and my 82 Mountain guy. So both of them don't really have a shot at winning, but still can be valuable domestics. And I thought that the 77 Sprinter was best because of his cobble and also all-around profile. So I protected him with my mountain guy, but in the end it really wasn't the best move because I think now I know that the mountain guy is the best domestics to be have. So he's the third guy. So maybe we'll see some people playing for him, at least as a domestic, to have him until the end. But
the mountain guy was really strong in this stage, I have to say. And also, as you said, the finish there really favors the acceleration of the Puncher because it's turn up and down as well. We saw here once again the trademark Leo Falandri move with 4 riders attack, including Alaphilippe, but it was caught after a few kilometers where he just decided that it's just not worth it quite just yet. Now Martin is taking the spot at the front of the peloton just before Heptonstall, which is where the road narrows, goes uphill, and with cobbles. So with a 42 rider peloton, there are gonna be blocks here, and Captain Blind and Ugo are in the worst position possible with all the riders at the back. Into the climb we go left into the climb now here, and is Jose actually taking the front. Sean tried to escape there on the left, but he was blocked by Jose's train. Leo Falandri in the middle with all his team blocking the front of the peloton, very well positioned.
Yeah.
Alder on the left.
as we can expect, the best players are aware of the threats and are trying to be positioned. But to be honest, I didn't get. I was very far in the peloton on this climb, and I still didn't get dropped or blocked. So I think there's a lot of luck also, but it's not that dangerous. But as we can see, a small gap to 12 riders got dropped, but they're still
Yeah.
very close. In the A1 group, EMEA, if you could show us who's been caught behind. Um,
I can
but
see a lack of Sean's
I
three
think Captain,
riders
yeah,
and
Captain,
Blind.
and
Oh,
oh,
Martin dropped
Martin,
there
yeah.
with his mountain guy, which is a
Yeah.
good domestic as we discussed.
But also, I saw some guys in a few lobbies playing for the 82 Mountain guy as leader.
Ooh.
But yeah, I think it just wasn't the
And
good
Blind from the back goes to the front with a 6-man team attack. Oh my
6-man team
god.
attack in the downhill. This is and then put maintain and then oh this is
Oh.
yeah this is not things we like to see, but at least he got Leo. But yeah, I'd guess that Leo is quite pissed right now. Because what you want to see when you attack is either people joining you or not pacing like this, because Captain actually got a gap on the peloton and still waited for it before still closing the gap. So
We
as
see
if
Albert here making a
yeah,
move, and
as if
there is a
mhm,
small hesitation in the peloton for the time being. And now Proto decides that Alder is a good enough player to go to the finish here, and he
mhm.
wants to join him.
And
But Alder
yeah,
seems to have waited.
mhm. No, I think it's just with the like the downhill and the hill. Yeah, he still got his gap now, but yeah, as we mentioned, anyone can win this group behind the four of them. So this will mean that everyone will pace, try to catch each other. So we'll see a good racing there.
It's definitely gonna be good racing because the race dynamic has changed in this stage three.
Hmm.
Because as you said, you have the top four of the group almost mathematically confirmed to the finish. So it's not a matter of qualifying anymore for the top four. It's a matter of getting the best position. So it's a race from scratch. Everyone on the same point roughly. It's just whoever will win and take the first spot who will get a favorable second round group. There is a small chance of going through if he manages to win this race, but it's a very slim chance. Alder continues with this move of four riders. He has over half a minute lead, but it's Sean, the person with the same points and on the first place of the group, getting him back. Pretty quiet now, with 100 Ks to go. And now Sean decides to stop pacing. We'll go on pace as
I
well.
think they just want to maintain Alder at like small margin, like maybe 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, um, to just keeping there. But now we can see the gap actually increasing quite fast, since no one wants to um, take responsibility in pacing behind. And as I said, this stage can be won by the hill guy, the puncher, but also domestics can go very far because there's a lot of downhills. You can recover your bars quite
Mhm.
good, and with four riders like Alder, he can go very very far. Could you show us who are the four riders that Alder got in the front? I think he has the cobble guy, so he has the 70. Okay, the 76, uh, the Cobble Guy, the 77 Sprinter, and the 78 Mountain. So yeah, that's great combination. So you must have the Bernal and Ibita behind, which are the Mountain Guy and Gal Guy, which also is a great move because in case he wants to attack, those two have the best acceleration, so
Mhm.
he can get a gap on the peloton. But right now, he's really really happy of the way the race has gone. Um, and I really believe that he can go very far with his 80 Cobble.
Yeah, I think they're underestimating this attack here. 2.5 minutes and less than 100 Ks to go. With this up and down terrain, there's also a limited amount of space and road that you can gain time back on them. So if they don't start acting quickly, which they seem to have done with Martin Case in the front, it could be a winning move here by Alder. And as you said, Alder made the right decision of leaving the best domestic, not a flat domestic with his puncher at the back, the mountain leader. But it seems to be Martin again, who is almost last in the group. Yeah, he's actually last because Seneca DNF'd. And he's doing the pacing instead of Ugo, which should be the one that has the most hope of achieving something here. But Alder is down to 3 already. Into Longley we go. A 3-star cobble section with 10% average gradient. And now Host is taking the front, Sean on the left, Leo in the middle. The gap is coming down slightly to 2 minutes, but he still goes on with 3 riders, and now it's going to be downhill, uphill, and the gap could even extend again. Because when you have 5-man riders trained there like Sean does, the riders at the back will lose some red, and he wants to slow down to recover with those as well. For this section that Alder is entering now, Edward. And it seems like he's down to 2, or is Martinez gonna hold on?
Yeah, I think he lost one, which is the 76 Alper, which is obviously the worst for this stage. But I was still quite surprised that he lost it quite fast.
Alder deciding to make a move here, but I don't know if it's a wise idea because you have no chance of breaking Alder. Not at 2 minutes gap.
Not really, no. I mean, at least not with your leader. Maybe you can try to put domestics also in the front, but now Leo is attacking with the 82 mountain guy. I mean, that's a great duo, as I mentioned before, but now the peloton won't just let him go like they did with Alder. Alder got his chance, but I mean, Leo with this jersey on the back even more, he is not getting away that easily, even though he still got 30 seconds now. Could we see who's reacting behind? I'd guess Jose Pereira and the big dog. Emeaki shows the peloton quite fast, please. And it's actually Martin and Hugo and Captain. So yeah, no, the opposite of what I said. So now Jose and the big dog are playing it more conservative, and that means that Leo got a huge gap, and it will be hard to catch, I think, even though he only has 1 helper. And now Hugo is attacking, and Martin really fast to react. I don't know if he's in Minty 99 or if he's just really aware, but at least he got another gap. It did drop his other 3 riders, because why not? But he still has 3 in the front with Hugo, Leo waiting for this group. That's very smart. And now Jose is forced to pace behind. But now we're starting to see some moves with 70 kilometers to go. As Hugo is really hammering it in this flat section. After this we have downhills, climbs, downhills, so you can recover your bars quite fast, but Alder still has 2 minutes lead on this group, which means a 2.5 minute lead on the peloton. So yeah, Alder is on a solo right now, and I think if we catch him, it's not before a long time.
Yeah, and the advantage of Alder here is that he has the option to attack these cobbles much smoother and calmer, whereas in the peloton the intensity of racing is so much higher, with everyone trying to have a good position and then recovering. So it's just stop and go in the peloton, whereas Alder is just taking this smoothly with no intense effort, and that will lengthen the energy he has, which is more linear effort. We see here though Ugo trying to reach to the front. He's only a minute behind, but the peloton is not far behind either.
Yeah, but you have to respect Hugo's behavior on this stage, because he knows that he needs to win it to have at least a chance to qualify. And that's what he's trying to do, play for the win, and that's obviously what we want to see. But yeah, it looks like his helper is dead in front. I don't
Ooh,
think.
Leo got a big block by a dead Costa Rider there.
Yeah, I don't know if Hugo will go alone. I think he'll try to keep his helper with him because even though you can recover quite good, an helper is insanely valuable in those small flat section.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to keep a steady pace and not lose time. So as we can see, Alder down to 2 riders, but 77, and the cobbler. Um, so
It seems though Ugo is going for the mountain guy as a breakaway attempt,
oh, I
and he's
didn't notice
keeping the
that.
cobble guy in the or the puncher. I'm not sure in the
He has the
peloton.
75, and is it Evnepool?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I mean, at least we see different options, and that's what's great about classics. We can see different people playing for different riders, and I mean, you can win with. I wouldn't rule out Evenepoel against Odge because Odge has been in the front for a long time. But yeah, I do think that Hugo only sent those as satellites riders
Hmm.
to.
And as we said, this finish is very acceleration based, and the
Yeah,
mountain guy has a great acceleration there. Alder is committed here though. He keeps a minute's gap to Ugo and almost 2 minutes to peloton. I'm not sure that I don't think he believes that he'll survive until the end here, but he will have 2 riders or even one much later in the stage than others might do. Although that doesn't seem to be the case here because you can see Martin with 6 riders, Martin still,
yeah,
Leo
and
with 4.
yeah, Leo is trying to catch Hugo, but now who will be the one pacing on Alder? Because, I mean, even though 2 riders isn't really threatening, um, after this succession of climbs, there's huge downhills to recover, and the cobbler is, I think, one of the best rider in the database to go on solo attacks. So I wouldn't rule out chances yet because yeah, the gap is climbing up to 2 minutes again, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Martin.
Yeah, there was a moment of
Okay.
hesitation there, but now
Yeah.
Martin has decided
Yeah,
that it's
Martin
now or never.
using his riders because he has a number advantage, so that's well played of him because at some
Everyone
point.
has big numbers here, surprisingly. It's only 45Ks to go, less than that. And it's Jose with the least amount of riders at just 3. For never mind. Blind is 3, actually. As you said, it's really impressive to have 6 after doing quite a bit of work in the peloton.
Yeah. And we're
Hugo
now
has been
starting.
caught, by the way, if
Yeah.
you haven't noticed, and now surely he's gonna be going for the cobble and the puncher guys. There was a switch paper in the middle there. They really need to be more careful.
Yeah.
As we see Martin continuing in the front after Gens still.
Yeah, and this climb will hurt Alder a lot because even though the cobbler, okay, no, maybe in this section is better because it's 5-star cobbles, but on those kinds of climbs which are a bit longer, the cobble guy isn't really good because he has like 66 medium mountain, so he can get caught quite fast. But yeah, that 5-star cobble sector helped him a lot to stay in front. And now we can see the big dog taking the lead, and I think the big dog is attacking.
Yeah, he's been trying to get a gap for a while now, and he finally
took
get it
Captain
here.
with him.
Mm-hmm. Cutting down to 2 though. And Alder is finally caught, but not from the entirety of the peloton. We have a small split here.
Yeah, this is a very important part in the race because this is where the winning move can go. And I think Captain maybe going.
And this is where red bar will be vital. There are just so many uphills here that there is no time for the red bar to recover.
Yeah.
So any domestics will just suffer on this section.
And I think Alder just did a bit too much because now I'll be down to 1 quite fast, I think. No, still 2. Hugo is alone, I think. everyone with 2 besides Hugo. Captain has 3. The big dog with 3 also. Hugo 2. Okay, so we have a number advantage for the big dog and Captain Blind. And we'll get a better look at the finish because in the group J there are only 13 kilometers to the end, so close to the end there, and we will be having a look at what the finish looks like just before looking at it in our center court. So there we have two-man group with Frico and Swaxon, both with the hill guys, 1.5 minutes advantage on Stein and Jasper, Andrew Walker, and I think it's Kingmaker in this lobby, yes. So all-in move for Frico and Swaxon, great move. They will be passing on the top of this climb, and then it's only downhill to the finish. But now Swaxon is dropping Frico. Frico just did a little bit too much, and he'll be stuck a bit between 2 groups. I think it will be getting caught by the Andrew Walker, Stein and Jasper group, and Swaxon, I mean, is going to do 3 out of 3, I think. So yeah, that will be 300 points for Swaxon, the only player to win three classics yet. Very, very strong showcase from him. Now Kingmaker is making that to the Andrew Walker group, and I think Frico actually will manage to hold on to this group behind and have in second position. But yeah, in front it's Swaxon. Another solo victory for him, like in last stage, and he'll be enjoying it. 3 out of 3 for Swaxon, former world champion. And yeah, we couldn't really see the sprint for center courts, but yeah, it's a bit of a hilly sprint with downhills and uphills and a big turn at around 800 meters from the line. So we'll try to keep an eye on this. And now I think that we'll be getting back to our center courts. Or maybe
we have Jose with
okay,
3
no,
now.
in Group G, pardon me, there are 14k to the finish, and in center court it's like 17k. So I don't know if we want to watch the end of the Group J totally, or watch the center court. But now we're watching the. Okay, so now we're back to the center court. I think that's the best idea.
Right, so we have Jose in the front here, Leo with 12. Sean slightly behind, but it was Alder who tried again to go with his duo, but was caught. And now Jose is all in with one rider trying to make a gap here, but it's Ukod actually that counters it. Then we have Alder, Blind, Leo, and the big dog with 2 riders still, while Jose is on. Now Ugo with a blinder here, with 15 minutes to go.
He just doesn't get that gap, that's really unfortunate. Okay, now he does, but
and
yeah,
he stops.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough in this downhill to really get a gap when all of them have 2 riders. Maybe he'll try again in the next climb. But yeah, so you all remember anyone between Jose Pereira and Leo Falandri, Alder, and the big dog can win this group by finishing ahead of the others.
Exactly.
Leo Falandri is trying to. It's not really an attack, but just positioning because I think he's trying to go in this climb. Great positioning from the Frenchman and world champion.
The big dog is staying very calm and quiet there. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do in the finish here. Leo Falandri is going 99 on this section, and now Blind on his right is trying to make an attack here with his 2 riders. And he seemed almost got the gap, but not
Leo
quite
is
enough.
really alert on this. And yeah, Captain trying to get a gap, and we'll actually get a sprint in this group.
And of course, some of these riders, Leo Falandri with a good attack there, dropping his rider in the wheel, and now he has a gap, and he's committed to the finish with less than 5 Ks to go.
Yeah,
it's the big dog trying to close him down, but he seems to have sailed away.
Yeah.
Blind trying to lead along the left. Leo Falandri is on the wheel of the big dog sprinter just in case.
Yeah, and he attacked with his puncher, so Cosnefra trying to close it, Captain Blind just going all out, and I think Leo
This
has
is going to be
this.
close. I think he will be caught at the end. We have on the right, Alder and Lantern on the left.
Alder sprinting, Alder, and it's a win for. Ooh, very close finish.
A great win.
And
The
it's
sprint of the
Leo
strongman.
Ferrandri, world champion, taking the win there.
The tailenders are still coming in.
And we have the same top 4 as the other stage, clearly ahead of the other in this group. It was a very, very good group with great players, and in the end, it's the world champion taking the win, and I think taking the group win also. Meanwhile,
Yes, that is correct.
just to be
Leo
mentioned,
Ferrandri.
in the other group, Basso won the last stage in front of Chief Master Pro. And now we are looking at Group H with one rider ahead. I think it's one of Giacomo or Francesco Grassi, I always forget. No, it's Simone. Pardon me. So Simone with 1 minute lead on the others.
There's always someone trying to go solo late in the last 15Ks of this race. And as we said, it's the parkour that does offer that possibility, but he has to rely on luck. That's the whole group behind just
And
wait
now,
and wait.
now Simone is attacking with another rider, trying to bridge to his already in front rider. That's a bit greedy, I think, and aggressive.
It's not greedy, it's trying to get a helper there, but unfortunately it meant that people were following that rider and now he's closing himself down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really risky move for him. Now he only has 30 seconds on, I think it's the Cobble guy. Oh, no, it's not Simone in front, it's Pixar. It's Pixar. He has